Hello everyone, today's video, we're about to get onto the M62. We're off Manchester for the week. Joe Aiden's here. He fights 3 weeks Saturday. I fight 6 weeks Saturday. So this week's training plan, I get loads of messages like, what training do you do? How much running do you do? What do you eat? All the rest of it. So I'm going to cover I'm going to tell you about this week's training plan for me and Joe. Give you an idea what a pro boxer does in training, and more importantly, different stages of your training as well. Joe's 3 weeks out now, so a few different changes to what you'd see 6 weeks out, I guess. But I'm Joe's coach. Obviously, Jamie and Nice train me, so different things with different coaches as well. Over the years, I've had lots of coaches, all done things very similar but slightly differently. So today we're off to Manchester. We'll get there. Cameron and Vong is sparring in Joe Howarth. I manage Joe Howarth, so luckily they're sparring at the gym I train at. Brilliant. So at least I get to watch. They've been sparring a few times last few weeks. Been good sparring, been good. So we're gonna watch that, and then it's training time. Today is a boxing session. So for me, pads and bags. So with pads with Jamie, we're going over the same sequence of punches I've been going over now for 5 weeks. Things we think will work with Johnny Fisher, the same sequence of punches basically. Only now I'm doing it for more rounds, doing it faster, doing it harder, and holding myself together a bit better. Once I've done probably 4 rounds up to now, probably up to 4 good quality rounds, go on the bag, continue it on the bag. Less intensity, as I want to get it right. A few pads with Nige, then pads are different, work rate, sharpness. Probably finish another 2 on the bag to make up my 10, skip my abs. Joe will do his boxing today. Joe will probably do 6 bag, probably 6 on the bag. He's doing an 8 rounder, so I'd like 6 on the bag. And I was wanting to do things correctly. Right hand, he's a southpaw, so his right hand nice and high. His left hand can be wherever it wants, as long as he knows where his chin is. I'm not particularly bothered where his left hand is. It doesn't make a difference to me. And again, just focus on the same punches really. Jab, straight 1-2, a jab to the body. Just very basic punches. But if you perfect the basic punches, you take some beating if you're as fit and strong as Joe is. So that'll be about that, and he'll then do some pads with Nige as we're getting close to the fight 3 weeks Saturday. Start to sharpen up a bit now, so hopefully get 2 or 3, 4 rounds with Nige on the pads. We'll both finish off with some skipping in our abs. We'll box every day. This week we'll box Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning, Friday evening. I'm sparring Thursday morning. So my other boxing sessions are just more the same sequence of punches me and Jamie have been working on. And then just about punching, conditioning my body to punching. I need to punch more, as everyone always says. I need to punch more, but I am, this might sound mad, but a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to punching. I don't like missing. I don't like throwing shots that aren't technically correct. But now I'm getting a bit fitter, I am throwing more punches, and any punch that I do throw, the good punches. So yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, bag and pads, sequence of punches, starting to up the work rate, starting to get more rounds out now, up to 10, and now it's a case of making the 10 of higher quality that I can, the time I have left. Joe hopefully will spar Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday 4 or 6 rounds, Friday we'll do 8, getting a few 8 rounds in now as his fight is 8 rounds, and the one in February he has got a title fight confirmed, that will be 10, so we will start to up the rounds. I'm not a big fan of sparring 8 and 10 rounds, never mind 12, as it's a long time and you get it a lot, and I learned over the years you don't want to be getting it too much if you don't need to be. But he does need to do some 8 and 10s because he hasn't done 8 and 10s, and it's a very long time. So this week, when Tuesday, Friday, he'll spar, and the other days it's just the same old boring stuff, like jab, 1, 2, jab, stab to the body, 1, 2. Very basic stuff, but you have to perfect them. I'm afraid it is boring for him, but it needs doing. So that's the boxing side of things. It isn't very exciting. I see loads of pad routines on Instagram and wherever else, throwing 6,000 punches and doing this training and that training. But the top and bottom is you have to have a good jab. You have to have a good 1, 2. You have to have a good defence. You have to do loads of boring stuff to do that. I'm afraid it's not all 30 punch combinations and pad work. It's simple drills on the pads. It's simple effective work on the bag. It's a lot of shadow boxing. It is what it is. So that's the boxing out of the way, and then tonight we have a VO2. It's VO2 session tonight, isn't it? Yeah. It's a difficult one. Yeah. So it's 15 90-second. I wouldn't say the sprints, but they're at a very, very good pace. Incline 3 on the treadmill. I will probably go between 15 and 17 kilometers per hour with a minute rest, because it's hill sprints today, but we're over in Manchester trying to get the full week over there now. Trying to do the full weeks over there, so I don't miss out on my boxing. So 15 90-second sprints, 3 incline, between 15 and 17 for Joe, looking anywhere between 19 and 22 kilometers per hour. Very good runner. So that will be difficult. That will be red zone. That will be 190 plus for me. Joe's max heart rate is 181. He's had the test, 181. Crazy, but that will be tonight's run. That is difficult. That will be the hardest session of the week, I think. Tomorrow for me is a 50-minute run, steady state running, 126 or 159. That's the heart rate range I'm running between. It's not too difficult really. Maybe my legs will feel it, but my breath will be fine. 50 minutes is a good run. Joe will do 10k. That's it. What pace is that for you, Joe? Is that the same as mine?
122 to 130.
So that's steady for Joe. He'll do 10k in about 43 minutes?
Yeah.
43 minutes. Wednesday is a brick session for me. It's the watt bike over 90 RPM, followed by the treadmill, 3 sets of each. This week is 8 minutes, 9. That's a tough session as well. That is a tough session. It is tough. And as I'm sparring Thursday, we will have to see how I feel Wednesday evening, as that can always change. That's the thing now, with more experience now, I realise you can't just go from session to session grafting. I used to train 100% balls out every session, and then by Tuesday afternoon I'm absolutely exhausted, and the quality of the work has just gone to zilch. And not only the quality of work, but the desire to train has died as well. So these days now I train, you can't be putting really hard sessions back to back. So that hopefully will go on Wednesday. If not, that will go in Thursday, and Wednesday evening I'll have a recovery session. Maybe do a long steady run, maybe do a walk. As Thursday morning spar is the most important session of the week. That's the first spar back. That's the one where all the last 6 weeks of working on things will hopefully come to fruition, and we can start to think, right, this will work against Johnny Fisher, this won't, this will. As a sparring partner is, we hope is a near clone of what Johnny will do. So it's all about that Thursday session this week for me. Everything else is obviously very important, but the most important one is the Thursday. So Thursday evening then will depend on Wednesday. Thursday evening will be the recovery session, or it will be the brick session that I would have done on the Wednesday. Friday morning, again another 50 minutes. And Saturday is a 40-minute run for myself. So I run 4 times, 4.5 times. Well, I run 5 times. One of them is a bike and a run, but I run 5 days a week. As a heavyweight, people say That's a lot of running, but I like to run. That's what I did. I did track and field before I did boxing. I like running. I'm not a bad runner for a big lump, really. I boxed 5 times. But the most important thing is with your training, you've got to have a good plan. You have to have a plan. You have to plan things. But you have to be willing to bend a little bit with your plan as well, depending on how you're feeling, how training's going. So that is my plan, that's Joe's plan. Joe now is only 3 weeks Saturday away from his fight. He's sparring more, trying to bring pad work in. I'm not a huge lover of the pads. The kids I train, we don't do a tremendous amount of pads. Something I kind of bring in 3 or 4 weeks from the fight, and we do up till the fight, but before that not so much. I much prefer shadow boxing and bag work, but He's only just over 3 weeks away now, so it's sparring, it's pad work, it's quality running, but it's also about the rest, you know, and the diet and the rest, that goes without saying. But I'll do another video on that, probably more so with Joe, because Joe very good with his diet and stuff, and he has to make weight, so probably a video on that this week. But in terms of the training, that's it. Lots of running, a lot of running for both of us. Big believer that running is the key, is the number one thing for that fitness. I think you have to run, you know. Maybe that's a bit old school, but that's how I think, and I always feel better when I run. I know Joe does the same. And then with the boxing, it's a lot of boring stuff. There's not a lot of excitement goes on with the training for the lads, really. For my lot, it's the same stuff over and over again until you perfect it, and then you do it a little bit more. For myself, we're going over the same stuff over and over again until we get that right, till we perfect it and it works on Fisher. Started sparring this week. So yeah, anyone wondering if I'm doing the training right, you better believe I am, yeah. Training really well, I feel fit. 6 weeks to go. I never felt this good with 6 weeks to go. Now the sparring has started. Drop a little bit more weight, to do a bit more sparring, keep perfecting the stuff we're working on, and we will be in a very good place in a very dangerous fight for Johnny Fisher. So that is this week's training.